It's the 12th of June, so this is a garden update. So over in this bed, this is all of the big onions called Walla Walla. There's some chives scattered down in the end. This back half of the bed was full of spring onions which have been picked, and now I have eggplants in here and they're ready to go up on the strings as soon as they get themselves settled in. Delphinium. Strawberries are in full gear right now. I have more strawberries than I can know what to do with. This bed had spinach, arugula and cilantro and kale. So now only the kale is left, and I have some tomatoes planted in here, two different varieties of large tomatoes. I have beef tomatoes, and then these are aromas down on this side, and there's Eschathra peppers that I need to put into the ground this weekend once I get some room. This is all the kohlrabi. So they're starting to swell up now. They're probably packed a little too close together, but that's fairly typical for me. I can see the cabbage white butterflies are flapping around. They'll like to lay their eggs on these, but these plants are big enough now where they're not going to really be damaged by that. I had broccoli over on this side, but a little baby bunny rabbit managed to get into the garden and did a good job destroying it, and it was packed too close together as well, so that all got picked last week. And this is where some of the peppers or the leeks are going to go in here. This is celery, which is coming along nice and bushy. Needs lots of water, but it's got plenty of water in here, so this is ready to get bound so that it'll make nice straight stalks. Dillweed, that's coming out today, nice in the old salads. And this is all of the lettuce, and this is going to come out today because it is 90 degrees, and when it gets hot the lettuce gets bitter and you don't want to taste it. So I had a number of pickings this year. I didn't get the lettuce put in as early as I did last year, so I didn't get as many pickings out of it. The will remain in the middle, will stay for a while because that forms a head, and then that won't be bitter. And that's a variety called Buttercrisp, and then these are just some leafy ones. More strawberries. Strawberries, strawberries, strawberries. So the girl has been going nuts picking strawberries, and you see there's plenty of them in there. It's the old spuds. They're starting to flower, so once they die back, it'll be almost time to pick the potatoes. So all these strawberries, I only planted 10 plants last year, and this spring I dug up 100 of them and gave them away. So kind of crazy. Let's go up to the big beds. So at the front half, this is carrots and parsnips, which I said last year I wasn't going to grow carrots again. Then I did anyway, and I'll say again, I'm not going to grow carrots again. That is the beans growing up the poles there. I did have radishes back there, but they're long picked. And this is chard down in between, and that's been going great, so that's pretty nice chopped up into a salad. This bed is all of the garlic. So it's two varieties. There's a small garlic and then there's a jumbo garlic, and it's getting to the point now where it needs to get picked as well. You've got the lower leaves are dying off, and this is what it's like when I pull it up now, and that's been in the ground since October, so it stays in the ground over the winter. There's some radishes in the back, and then popping up through the strings, that is the tomatoes, which are needing a hell of a pruning, which they're going to get here shortly. Maybe I'll do a video after all the pruning so you can see what that looks like. There's a cabbage of white butterflies. So this is the Brussels sprouts. So I put them in a little earlier than I would, and they're quite densely packed, but I'm going to thin that out later on because I didn't know how they were going to handle with the bunny rabbit that I got in here. Wall of peas, they're just starting to produce now. So they are just now starting to get fat. So there's 3 different varieties in here. There's a shelling type, then there's one that you eat in the pods, and then there's one that's just going to be like for stir fries. But the heat is causing the flowers to wilt, so they don't like this heat. Of course, we went from very cold to very hot very quickly. Red cabbage, it's very slow to grow. Tripping over tomato plants. And I have beans growing back here. So I already have some bean flowers on there. This is a variety called Provider, which makes nice big red beans. Very meaty taste. So you're wasting your time, butterflies. Just another look at all of the peas back in there. Some nice big fat pods as well. So that's cool. Extra tomatoes are just laying around the back. Someone suggested to me, why don't you sell them? Well, I can't even give them away for free, so selling them is a waste of my time. Alright, moving down to the other garden. And of course now they start the angle grinder. So this is grapes. There's going to be sunflowers and peppers going in here. This is more rabbit damage. Rabbits just chewing on the grapes. Rabbits destroying everything. And I have some basil in there, some more tomatoes along the back, various varieties. And then this will get filled in with sunflowers and pickles and peppers. So once the peppers get a woody stem, the rabbits will leave them alone. Coming up here, this is the strawberry ladder. So lots of strawberries coming out here. And this has my own compost in here, which is why it's full of grass and dillweed and tomato seeds, which have to be picked out constantly. So there's a nice big tomato growing in there. Too bad. I even have some self-seeding cucumbers that just managed to pop up by themselves. I said, well, I'll leave you alone. You got big enough before I noticed. So we'll see how that fares. And then the seedlings that are ready to go in, up on the deck. So this is all the cucurbits. So 3 different varieties of cucumbers. I'm not growing them just for myself. The neighbors are taking a couple of plants. Then we have zucchinis and melons, and that's corn back there, so that's going to go in where the lettuce is. This is the leeks that are ready to transplant, and more peppers that are ready to go in the ground. And that's all the sunflowers. I had the tray of sunflowers set on the ground briefly, and the rabbits came through and mowed down the lot, and so I had to plant more of them. So they're ready to get installed. And that is it for now.